Hey, welcome back to the channel, guys. Thanks so much for stopping by. So what we're doing today, we actually have a lot we got to do. I got this here. You probably don't know what that is unless you've been watching the channel. My shifter cable broke in my truck. I was gonna try and weld something together to get it to work, but the cable itself is actually starting to bend now. So even when you're guiding it back in, it's not going all the way back into gear. So I bought that. I paid $63 for it. If I would have ordered it right when I was thinking about it, it would have only been about $50, but stupid mistake on my part. I asked my neighbor, which is a mechanic, and he told me that the shop would charge me 1 hour of labor, which would have been about $100, and then whatever the part cost, which the part cost from where they probably would have got it was about $100, and then they obviously would have marked it up. So I probably would have been in the neighborhood of $250 for something that I'm doing for 60 bucks. So that's a good lesson to you guys. I did the same exact thing. I had a valve cover gasket that went bad in my, or a lower intake manifold gasket that went bad in my truck. He said they would charge me anywhere from $900 to $1,200. The part itself was like 80 bucks. And then between all the tools I had to buy and then all the parts, and I ended up replacing both my valve cover gaskets, which they weren't gonna do. I think I was into it $200 or $300, but that's because I had to buy a bunch of wrenches and stuff that I didn't have. So I saved like, I don't know, $700 doing it myself. So if you're able to do it yourself, it's definitely worth it. There's some things that you can't do, obviously. Like I have a timing issue in my truck. You need a timing light and stuff. I don't have one, so that's probably gonna get taken to the shop. But yeah, that's what we're doing today. Make sure you stick around if you want to see some sweet time lapses with sweet music and stuff, and probably watch me struggle quite a bit because I don't know what I'm doing, and I gotta get underneath the car and pull the cable out of the transmission. This side goes in the transmission, so I don't know how it's gonna work. I haven't looked up any videos or anything. This isn't a how-to. This is just so you guys can watch me struggle and cry. So yeah, stay tuned. Here's the game plan. I gotta take off this part of the cover here, this whole bottom section. The part that is bad is this part right here. See how this piece broke off? That's essentially the guide that when you're changing the shifter up here, it will then take that and push it in and out. And it's supposed to guide this metal shaft through the middle of that and then push your cable down into gear. So what I gotta do, oh, it disconnected right there. What I gotta do is I gotta get this off so I can disconnect it from the shifter right up here. And then I'll get underneath, disconnect it, and then I'll pull it all through. So gotta get an itty bitty little socket for that, and then hopefully we don't break anything. I hate doing this kind of stuff. Same thing with like door panels and stuff, because once you take them off, they don't ever go back on the same. But it has been taken off because the cast iron shifter inside here actually broke, and I had to have a shop actually replace the steering wheel, the whole center column, all the way down to about this point here. So I'm guessing that this cable is actually new as well. So that's what we're gonna do. So stick around. All right, guys, so we got all the screws off now, or the bolts. They're very long for being what they're for. They were 7mm. It looks like it's just getting caught on that for now, right on the seat brake. Just so you guys know, there's always struggle. It doesn't matter how often or how much you work on cars. I used to work in a shop for a little while. I had my toolbox, my little Craftsman set, sitting here, and when I opened it, the hook got stuck like this little latch, and when I lifted it, it picked it up and dropped like all of these sockets out. So just know there's always a struggle. Doesn't matter how perfect your setup is. which obviously mine isn't perfect, but when I was working in the shop, same stuff happened. So just keep that in mind. But so I'm gonna get this e-brake off. It looks like there's like a little clip retainer there, and I'm gonna get that off, see what else we're stuck on. They sure don't put this in a very easy location to get this out. Let's see. I wonder if shops actually have a specific tool for this, like if it's a tool that they carry or if they just do the whole screwdriver action. There we go. Actually came off easy without breaking. I'm very surprised about that. I thought for sure I was going to be buying a new one of those. Let's see. It looks like it's got this little, I don't know if you guys can see it, little plastic retainer clip in there so that the cable will actually stay on the outside of the dashboard. So I'm guessing, I don't know, don't quote me on this, I'm guessing this has to rotate some way, somehow. Let me set this camera back up. Guessing I gotta pull on it, maybe. There we go. Oh, it's gotta go the other way. My bad. It's gotta go up this way. I know you probably can't see anything because my big old stupid hand's in the way, but again, I wonder if they have tools for this kind of stuff. Because I imagine they would, with it being like a specialty thing. There we go. Okay, so that'll go through there now. We're stuck somewhere else. Let me give it a look around and see where we're stuck. All right, so it looks like there's just these little retainer clips now. I hate when they do these in junction with screws and stuff, because I always feel like I'm gonna break it just because you don't really know. So you gotta just start tugging on it. We got the vent here, we gotta hopefully not break. And there it goes. Okay, let me get this out of the way. And then I'll show you guys. Sorry, I'm all by myself. I don't got my camera lady here. I'll probably actually have to take this plate off right here now that I'm looking at it, because what I need to get to is that little, come on, focus. That little clip right there. I don't know if it's that one or the other side, because there's two clips. There's that one, there's this one close and that one far. So I'm pretty sure it's a close one though. And actually, I realize now that clip is actually worn out. That was what was falling out if it's that one. So, and then it goes just right down that black wire, right down the baseboard here. So let me pull this out and then we'll resume. All right, there you have it. Okay, that little cable right there. Had to take the vent off as well, which is just a hose that's like just pressed onto the back of it. Stupid design. And a big metal bracket. That actually looks brand new, so I don't know if they replaced that last time they put it in. The screws that were holding it on were the same exact size as the other ones, which were the 7mm that were holding the dashboard on. So now I got to make sure it's the right one, which if you look at it, I got a better view. See how that plastic clip is supposed to be staying there, stationary, and then this rod goes in and out. But since this is not stationary, it's all jacked up. I'll show you guys it when I get it all apart, what the actual cable looks like, because it's pretty jacked up. So I'm gonna start working on getting that off. I'm pretty sure I'm literally just gonna, well, let's just try it. We'll see what it does. It was coming off before and I had to like push it back on. Yeah, see? Now you're released. Super easy. There's one more. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it actually. Let's see, where's this cable go? It's up higher. So there's this like rusty metal bracket here. I gotta get it pushed out of there. So I think it's not a press one. So I don't know how I'm gonna get that out. But once we get it out, I'll update you. Alrighty, so for any of you who are following along at home, there was this little retainer clip there. Let me see if I can get my arm. I'm not gonna be able to reach. So essentially, that went around the outside like this, like around the whole rod in that little housing. You just put a screwdriver in it, pop it out, retainer clips out, and then this should, in theory, oh, it might be pressed in forward. Let me see. This is how you know I don't get things done before I actually get back on to update you guys. Okay, let me mess with it for a second and then I'll bring you back. Alrighty guys, so here's that plastic retainer clip that was right up in that little metal bracket. Be ready, because this clip here is right at the top. I gotta get my finger on the camera. Right at the top right there. So I had to take an Allen wrench and pinch it like this and then twist it around so it was applying pressure for that top one. I could get the bottom one really easy, but I just couldn't get the top one. I spent probably 10-15 minutes doing that, so just be ready for that. It's going to be a pain in the butt. I don't think there's any way around it, but it's completely out up here. I probably have a little bit under the carpet, but I'm going to jump under the truck and see what we're doing with down there. Another little helpful hint here, little $3 Walmart tarp, because we got really bad hail yesterday and there's mud and crap everywhere. So little couple dollar Walmart tarp, spread it out underneath the truck. Now you don't gotta lay in the mud, except for my wife used it to cover the pool and it got soaking wet. So now I'm gonna get wet anyways. But normally I just lay on the ground, but it's all muddy and nasty, so. Alrighty guys, well there's your oil pan right there. Transmission, cable we're gonna be replacing. This is probably gonna be pretty easy to get off and on. You got another stupid little retainer clip. This is that clip I was talking about. You just put your screwdriver right in there, you pop it out that way, and then you gotta press on each side of this one here. It does go up. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it. Where's that? Right there. Right. Right there. Right there. There's a little rubber boot. That's what goes in the vehicle. The new one comes with a rubber boot, and you'll just pop that out as well and replace it. So let me grab some tools, and I'm gonna probably start here and then work my way down. If this tarp will quit blowing over my face, that'd be great. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that. BRBs. Alrighty guys, well, I got you under here. I believe you can see. If you can't see, you're not gonna see this anyways, so I think this just should probably just pop out just like the other ones have, maybe? Yep, just like that. That was actually a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. I spent 20 minutes of trying to get the camera fixed. How far down here can you see? You can't. Alright, I believe you can see like that. I have my watch that makes it so that I can see what's on my screen. But there's this little plastic or metal clip here. So you just pop that right out. Just like so. That's what it is right there. I don't know if you can see it. Might be too zoomed in. Yeah, right there. Right over there. Okay, yeah. So that just clips right in like that. And then we got another 2 of those clamps. Luckily though, they're on the outside this time. I put the truck on ramps and it's really not helping that much if we're just being completely transparent here. It's not, I mean, I'm sure it's helping quite a bit actually, but I don't feel like it's like that much higher. Where's the, okay. I believe we're gonna run into the same issue we were on the other side of that top one being a pain in the nuts. So I don't think I'm gonna edit this out. If I can get it within a couple tries here. There we go. She gone. there. Okay, the only thing left holding it in, I'm probably not gonna be able to get an angle on it, but it's gonna be a little rubber boot up here. All right, guys, well, to a point that I'm fully committed now. I can't do anything. So cable runs here, goes all the way back, and I think the boot's about right here. So I gotta pull the seat out now, which really freaking sucks because I really don't want to do that. But I mean, I've already got to the point now where I can't get it in and out of gear, so don't really have a choice. I could try and like get the boot out through the bottom and like just pull it through, but then when I'm putting it back in, it's gonna be miserable. So I'm just gonna pull the seat out, and hopefully that makes it a little easier. You know, it's actually pretty funny. I didn't realize it until my brother had said something, but he's always like, you just jump right into things. Like it doesn't matter what you're doing, it doesn't matter what it is, you just jump right in and just tear it apart. He's like, I always sit there and think about it and decide how I'm gonna do it and do a bunch of research, and come to realize I'm like, you know, that's really not how I do it. I'll look things up if I get stuck, but just like with the valve cover or the lower intake manifold gasket, like that took me almost a full part of a day, but I literally just started tearing into it and just started going step by step from what I knew how to do, and then if I'd get stuck, I'd find a video. So long story short, guys, is if you're doing something like this, you know, obviously do your research, make sure you're not going to ruin anything, but you got to just start. Don't mind how dirty this thing is. We haven't cleaned it or anything like that. So there's the cable. I'm like, oh, what the hell? Why is it going all the way back? They looped it back around. They're a bunch of idiots. So I'm not taking out the center column. I will not do that. In the time lapse, you might have seen I took this off. I was gonna just take this whole thing out so I could literally just peel it back farther. This, I might as well show you guys, I guess. This is a Torx bit, and I don't have one that big, so that's gonna stay on like that, just like a so. And then let me see if I can get you seeing what I'm looking at here without having you fall over. Yeah, so now essentially I am going to see if I can get this pulled like all the way through here. I got some of it. Let me see if I got some pliers or something in here. Some pliers. And if you guys are like doing this, like, and you're trying to reuse it, obviously be a little more careful. Oh, sorry, my bad. But I got a brand new one, so it's just gonna get replaced. So I don't really care what it comes out like. So obviously I don't want to break any of the retaining clips or any of that stuff. But for the most part, I don't really care about the rest. Just because, can you guys see? Yeah, just because I'm not going to be using it anyways. So, okay. So that's out. I'm going to put that back in there. Move you guys out of the way. And it's out. So, like I said, my bad. So see how it's all bent like that? So what I was gonna do, okay, is I was gonna try and find something like this that was metal that would sit into there. I was gonna weld a washer here, and then just like this thing is, it's just like a big cylinder essentially. I was just gonna get a giant like hollow bolt and make it like really long, weld it to there, so then that way it would have remade all of it. But this cable got so bent that when I was putting it in and out of gear, I couldn't even get it in like manually with my hand. And so that became garbage really fast. When you are taking it out, be careful. There's these plastic knobs on the inside, so I think they want you to take it out through the bottom technically. Other than that, everything else was in decent shape. So my mom's leaking oil really bad. She's got like a valve cover or something, or not a valve cover, a valve get some, I don't know, some gasket. All right, that's bad. So we got the new one there. I'm gonna try and get this in. Hopefully it goes in easier than it came out, because that was kind of a pain. And hopefully I can get this carpet back in and like stretched and looking decent. I don't know how much I'm gonna trust myself to do that, but it's all part of the process. So yeah, I'll check back in with you guys. One thing I did want to say before I start installing this, if you look at this part actually on the new one, it's a lot meatier. It's a lot better constructed right through here. The cable itself feels a lot better. This is the one I got. It's the AC Delco. I would strongly recommend spending a little bit extra and getting this one. Like I said, if you go to AutoZone or O'Reilly, I think they were about $100, and I got mine for 63 on Amazon. So just plan it for a weekend. Don't spend the extra money. It's really, you know, you're getting the same product. Amazon probably has a better warranty anyways. And it's literally the exact match. So spend a little bit extra on the better quality one, because, you know, if you're doing this, just so you know, with cars you get what you pay for. You buy cheap stuff, you're gonna get cheap quality. So pay a little bit extra, get the little bit better quality one, and you'll probably thank me later. So if you buy the cheap one, you'll come back and comment on this video in a year and say, man, I should have listened to you. I bought the cheap one and it's broken again. So just keep that in mind when you're buying car parts. A lot of people try and cheap out on some stuff, and it's just not worth it. So yep. Well, I don't know what you guys think, but if I have the seat out already, I've got all this room to work. I'm not putting it back in until after I get it all hooked up and I make sure it's actually gonna work. Because with my luck, I'll get it all hooked up, thinking it's good, and have to pull it all back out again. So, sorry for the shoddy camera work this time. I'm not doing all the time-lapse stuff on this because everything I'm doing is taking, you know, a couple minutes here and there. So I'm trying to just keep you up to date what's going on and record, and so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Hopefully I didn't mess something up here. Why is it backwards? I don't think it matters. Okay. So hopefully this is the right size. There we go. Now I just gotta set that clip in right there, put in the metal retainer clip again on both sides, hook up the bottom, and then we're done. All right guys, don't mind me, I'm just sitting on the floor here. I didn't put the seat back in because, like I said, I wanted to make sure it was all working before I put it back together. So foot's on the brake, but I can't get it, I can't get it into first gear for some reason. Like, it acts like it bottoms out. I don't know what that's from or why, and it feels really like really sloppy. Like, if you look, like, it just like feels really nasty. So I'm gonna do a little bit more looking into it. I think it might be this where is it? That little thing, that little box right there. I don't know what this is for exactly. Actually, if I do that, what does it do? Is that how it registers what gear it's in? No. Still only puts me in third though. So I don't know, I don't even know what this is for, unless it's just like a guide or something. I don't know. If you guys know, let me know if I don't figure it out. But for the most part, we're done. I'm gonna throw the seat back on. You guys don't want to see that, so we'll just get it all put back together, and we should be good. If I figure out what it is, I'll let you guys know. If not, please let me know what you think it might be. I don't have any reason that this should be like near as sloppy as it is. Like, it just feels really nasty. It could be just because I'm sitting on the ground and it just feels weird because I'm not where I normally am, but yeah. Hey guys, so this is after the fact. I got everything all put back together. There was this metal plate that sat right here. Oh, sorry. Right here underneath. The vent went right through that little hole there. I don't really see a huge purpose for it. I mean, I don't know if, yeah, no, the steering wheel still goes in and everything. I think it might have just been like a support for the dashboard, so like if it got hit, it wouldn't break. But I couldn't get the actual clips in and the screws down underneath in without taking that out, or I don't know if I don't think I was putting it in wrong. I looked back at the video and it was incorrect. I just think the brackets in there, they were rubbing really bad on the inside here. Like you can see the scrapes. Because it just wouldn't fit. So but we got it all done. I just thought I'd give you that little tidbit just in case you guys run into the same issue. It looks like you can pull it out without having any issues. I'll let you guys know if I do run into issues later, but yeah. All right guys, sorry, it's gonna be a little shaky. So in the truck, I couldn't get it to go all the way into first gear. It was like it was bottoming out down here, like it was getting stuck. But I just talked to my neighbor, he's a mechanic. This little white clip here is actually an adjuster. So what I'm gonna try and do is I'm gonna try and pull as much of this slack out of it as I can. Sorry, I'm trying to do it while showing you good. So I'm gonna like pull it all the way down, and then you push this clip in, and then this little black part right here slides over that clip so that it won't readjust. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna see if that fixes the problem. I'll let you know, because this is something I didn't know. Like I said, I didn't watch any videos or anything on this, so I'm just kind of going in blind. Okay, so let's see if we can get this tightened up a smidge. So we're gonna go like this, push that clip in, right, and then slide that over. That's good and tight. It was pretty good anyways. I think what was happening is when it was going into gear, it was moving though, and so it wasn't moving. My actual shifter itself was actually really loose as well. So let's see if that fixed it. Sorry about the hair, guys. I just came out here and started working on it. I haven't even showered or anything because I knew I had a lot to do, so I didn't care. But let's see if it fixed it, and I'll let you know. Moment of truth. So it was very sloppy before, and it was kind of hard to get it into reverse. Ooh, yeah, it's better. So we're gonna back off the ramps. And for the record, if you don't have any ramps, I know that, you know, like I don't have a garage, I don't have a lot of the tools that I need. You can use 2x4s, you can use bricks, you could run it up on a sidewalk. So there is ways to do it. So I do it pretty much the hardest way possible. These aren't my ramps, I've just been borrowing them from my brother. But yeah, it is possible without all the right equipment. It makes it easier if you have the right equipment, but okay, ready? Let's see. Oh boy, it's good and tight. Oh, that's smooth. That's perfect. Well, there you go, guys. That's going to conclude this video. I know I've said this about 300,000 times. Like I said, I really do appreciate you guys and showing the support that you have. It's been awesome doing this. It's been nice getting all my stuff fixed as well. But oh, finger in the camera. I don't have my tripod on right now, so it's gonna look a little weird. But like I said, if you do enjoy this kind of stuff, I try and put out a video once a week. I love doing it. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.